Welcome to Super Talk Outdoors, where every single Monday at lunchtime we enjoy a celebration of the world-class outdoors of the state of Mississippi, because this is the capital of the outdoors in America. I want to thank you for joining us on the powerful Super Talk Mississippi Radio Network. Some of you are listening to Super Talk Outdoors at supertalk.fm or Amazon Alexa, the Super Talk Mississippi app. You're watching it on Super Talk TV at C Spire TV or on Facebook or YouTube. We like to say that we're wherever, whenever you want to engage in the show. It's Labor Day, September the 1st, 2025. Where has this year gone? Labor Day. It's amazing. Hope you're having a great day today. We've got a great show today. We, one of the things I enjoy doing is celebrating the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. We try to bring in members of that team as often as we possibly can. When you look at the lakes division of what they do, what Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks has to say grace over, 119 public lakes, 18 prime state fishing lakes. Just in the Northwest region alone, you're talking about Arcabutla, Sardis, Enid, Grenada, the amount of acres that this state manages, some of the most world-class fisheries in the world. Right here in Mississippi. It takes really dedicated leaders and dedicated employees at the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks to pull this off, to keep us at that cutting edge. And I'm thrilled today to have Britt Harris, who's the North Region State Lakes Supervisor. He hasn't been on the show before, so I'm really looking forward to getting to know him better. Britt, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. When you think about what the state has to say grace over across the state, you've got some really sweet spots in your areas of responsibility, don't you?
Yeah, we've got some really good fishing areas in the northeast part of the state. We've got, I manage 4 state lakes, which is Tippah County Lake, Lake Lamar Bruce, Elvis Presley Lake, and Lake Monroe in Aberdeen.
Yeah, that is so awesome. Listen, I want to take just a second and see, where you came from. So where did you grow up?
I grew up in Decatur, Mississippi.
Outdoors? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Was there all my life till about 3 years ago when I moved to Pontotoc and took over the Northeast Region State Lakes, or the North.
Hey, so
region,
listen, has it always been in your blood to enjoy the outdoors?
Oh yeah. I grew up fishing and hunting with my daddy, and we spent a lot of time on the Bienville National Forest, the WMA there, squirrel hunting. We fished Oak Tibby, Ross Barnett Reservoir. My daddy loved to spend time in the Mississippi Delta on Chotard and Tennessee Chute, and me and my brother both just grew up doing that thing with him. He loved it. He loved fishing and hunting, and we were privileged to be able to go along.
Listen, I've often said on the show, a family that enjoys the outdoors together stays together, but it's in our DNA, isn't it?
It is. It runs in the blood. If you grow up doing it, it just don't leave you. You do different things. I don't partake in the deer hunting anymore, but I still love to squirrel hunt, still love to crappie fish. So yeah, it sticks with you.
So listen, when did you decide you wanted to make a career out of this?
Well, when I was young, my daddy used to go out to the Rocky Mountains when he could go on a vacation, and I got an opportunity to go out there with him, and I decided I originally wanted to be a national park ranger, but that didn't work out. I wound up getting married. When I done my internship, I met the woman of my life, and I got married and built lazy boy chairs for almost 18 years, and then got out of that and got into the Mississippi Outdoors, the Mississippi Department of Wildlife. I started out at the fish hatchery in Meridian. Worked there for 5 years till they shut it down. Went to Kemper Lake and was a lake manager for 3 years there, and then moved on to an assistant fisheries biologist. for the central region, and from there went to being a supervisor for the state lakes.
Wow, that's so interesting. Listen, when I think about what it takes, when you think about these world class lakes in Mississippi, well, first of all, we're so lucky to have so much public water to be able to enjoy. But it's not something that happens. It's not something that happens by fault, is it? I mean, it takes a lot of concentration, a focus on managing it appropriately, dealing with invasive species, thinking about the next generation of people to come along to enjoy. But it takes a lot of work to do this right, doesn't it?
It does. Our biologists, our fisheries biologists, do an absolutely wonderful job of taking care of these lakes as far as the fish population. Of course, at our state lakes, we have camping facilities. We have some of them have rental pavilions. We keep the grass mowed there. We keep the plumbing going, the electricity going. Our lake managers do a lot of work in a lot of bad conditions sometimes. In the heat of the summer and the cold of the winter, it's just kind of like running a farm. You don't never know when something's going to break down and need to be taken care of. So these guys, my guys, do a wonderful job taking care of the facility. The biologists do a wonderful job taking care of the lake. So they manage that lake for a healthy fish population, and occasionally we'll go and drain a lake and restock the population, and gives the fishermen and the people that want to come out and enjoy a good fish. They can catch some quality fish after the lake's been renovated after a few years. So it's good to have that healthy fish population so that people can enjoy it.
Listen, when you were talking about this year-round effort that you and your team have to embark on, I could, when you're thinking about rain and shine and cold and hot, all the things that you were talking about, I'm thinking it made me immediately think about the time I spend up in the Mississippi Delta. And, this is typically the case. If we have a plan, what can go wrong will probably go wrong. And so,
right.
We've been stuck. We've had to deal with dust. We've been broke down. You've seen it all, haven't you?
A little bit of everything, but I'm sure there's going to show me something else before I'm done.
I bet you've laughed a few times too, huh?
Well, after it's all taken care of, yeah, we do laugh about it sometimes. But it can get interesting. You got sewer pumps that you got to keep running, and those go down occasionally. You may have a campground full of campers when that happens. So it's nice to have knowledge on all kind of different things. If you're a lake manager, you need to have a little general knowledge of electricity, water, repairing water lines, that kind of stuff, maintenance on equipment. Although, we've got people that we can call that will come and do things that we don't know how to do, because some of this stuff is pretty complex when you get into a control panel to a sewer pump or something like that. So it's good to have other people that work for the department that are familiar with that kind of stuff, and that we can kind of lean on to help us out in situations like that.
It's so interesting because you're not just a supervisor, you're a steward of those lakes and everything that's involved in managing those lakes. And you have to be a bit of a jack of all trades. You've learned a lot over the years, haven't you?
I have. I learned to wire an electrical panel in a campground box. Fixing water lines are pretty simple, but some of these lines are buried pretty deep. So you don't just want to go at it with a shovel. We have to get equipment sometimes moved in or brought in and dig them up. And a lot of times you don't know what you're going to run into when you get down there. So it can be interesting. Absolutely.
I bet it's exciting when you work to bring a lake back and see it rebound and see all the management practices you're putting in place really begin to pay off, and you see families enjoying it. There's some major satisfaction that comes from what you do, isn't there?
It is. We reopened, I should say, Elvis Presley Lake in Tupelo last year in May in 24. And we had a kids' day the weekend before it actually opened. We try to open during a week, but we did have a kids' day where only the kids could fish, or the parents could fish too, as long as they had the child. But they caught a ton of fish off the bank, off the piers, out of the boats, and it's exciting to see that younger generation, get an opportunity to catch fish. Some of them may be on their first time out. It's kind of like the fishing rodeos. You run into kids that the parents have went to Walmart the morning before and bought them a fishing pole, and to help those kids, I've rigged up the whole lines before. I bait hooks, and that kind of stuff at the fishing rodeos. But when you see the smile on those kids' faces, it's really beneficial and makes you think that through that heat and through that cold, you've actually done something, and so it's really satisfying.
You've hooked them for the rest of their life.
We hope we do.
We'll come back on the other side. We'll see you after this break. Welcome back to Super Talk Outdoors. Hope you're having a great day. Listen, are you looking to purchase your perfect piece of hunting property? Upgrade your farm equipment, or have you been dreaming of owning your slice of heaven out in the country? Look no further than Mississippi Land Bank for your financing needs. For more than 100 years, farming families and landowners in North Mississippi have turned to Mississippi Land Bank for all kinds of financial solutions, whether it's for land, equipment, or livestock. For more information, visit mslandbank.com or go by and see one of their friendly staff at any of their offices. I'm so thrilled to have Britt Harris with us today. He has a really important responsibility in the north region of the state as a manager there. And we're just talking about his passion for what he does. I love what you were saying before we went to break, talking about being out and watching kids enjoy it, watching families enjoy it. Because, it is true, man. Just the same as you and your brother and your father sort of, did this together and it hooked you, it got in your DNA. You're watching other families experience that too. And that once you got them probably for life, don't you?
Yeah. It's with anything. Some people are not going to stick with it, but a lot of those kids will eventually come back, and when they get grown, they'll bring their kids. And so to keep that going in our state and to keep that interest up, we try our best to keep things nice and keep things the lakes regulated and have a healthy fish population so they can experience that fun and excitement.
So this notion about invasive species is something the department is always kind of focused on. Is that something you have to battle as well?
Well, we keep check on we're posting signs and stuff for this giant salvinia that if you see this in the lake or whatever. So with it being in other areas close to here, sometimes people might not check their boat trailer or whatever when they come out of one place that did have it, and it don't take much to get it started somewhere else. So yeah, our guys are checking around the boat ramps and stuff, and we're depend on the fishermen too, to give us a heads up if they see something like that where it can be investigated. And if something needs to be done, then we can take care of it.
Listen, I've had so many opportunities to think about this, but one of the beauties of being in Mississippi, something maybe we take for granted, is I had someone from South Africa on the show once, and he said, we all need to stop and think about this for a second. Within about 10 minutes, no matter where you're sitting in Mississippi, within about 10 minutes of where you're sitting, you can be on public ground somewhere. And you may have to drive a little bit further to find one of the state lakes that the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks has a responsibility for. But man, do we have some opportunities to enjoy the outdoors in public owned land. And I mean, it's not just great ground. It's incredible ground. It's not just good lakes, but it's great lakes. The lakes that you have responsible for, Britt. Why don't we do this? Let's give people an idea. Why don't you take us on a tour? You can pick whichever lake you want to start, but I'm interested, when someone goes to that lake, what would their experience be? What would they catch? What are some of the amenities that are there? Let's kind of take a tour of your responsibilities.
Okay. Well, I'll start at the very north part of the state, and that's at Tippah County Lake, which is just off Highway 15, just north of Ripley. Tippah Lake's got 20 campsites. It's got a rental pavilion. People can expect to catch largemouth bass, brim, red ear brim, catfish. So we've got a variety there, which most of all of our state lakes are going to have those, but some lakes are going to be better, have a better population of one type of fish than others. Tippah County Lake is going to be known for its red ear brim or its bluegill brim. Super nice size red ear and bluegill brim in Tippah County Lake. The thing that I like the most about Tippah is that it's got a tremendous amount of hardwood. So when you drive through, especially in this time of year we got coming up, the leaves are going to be turning. We've got picnic areas there that people can come out, fishing piers that people can come out and enjoy a day. And if they're just going to come out and picnic on a pretty fall day, it won't cost them a thing to come in and have a picnic. Of course, if they fish or whatever, they'll need to pay a fishing permit fee. But Tippah County Lake is one of the prettiest ones that we've got, and I give that credit to it because of the hardwood trees that we have around there.
Yeah.
Next one's going to be as we come south a little bit to Saltillo, we've got Lake Lamar Bruce. Again, it's surrounded by hardwood trees. As far as the drive in, though, when you come off the highway, you're there. There's no drive in. Pretty much, it's the parking lot and the boat ramp. But people, there's a rental pavilion there that people can call and reserve to have that. We've got 11 campsites, and we've got the largemouth bass, the bluegill, red ear, crappie, and they catch some really nice crappie out of Lake Lamar Bruce. And I've had the anglers tell me they go there to catch a trophy bass. So we've got a guy that comes there. He fishes a lot from the bank. He's caught many 8, 9, 10-pound bass just fishing from the bank. Now he may fish all night, but he catches some really big fish doing that. So we come on down to Tupelo, 4 miles from Saltillo, and we get to Elvis Presley Lake, and that's one we just reopened last year. We've just recently got the campground back going, so the campground's open. There's 16 campsites there. There's fishing piers. There's picnic tables that people can come out, multiple picnic tables at Elvis Presley Lake for people to come out and enjoy. And the fishing right now, since we've just reopened, the fish population is maybe a little over 3 years old. I had a guy show me some pictures yesterday. He had a couple of bass that he had caught, probably weighed between 4.5 and 5 pounds. So to not only be 3 years old, that is a good sized fish for a bass. And but they do catch a lot of crappie at Elvis Presley Lake, but you're not going to get the quality brim that you would at Tippah County Lake. So it just depends. A lot of the lakes differ like that. So we come on farther south down to Aberdeen, which is Lake Monroe. Lake Monroe got hit by the tornado in 2023 when the tornadoes came through Amory. Took a lot of our hardwood timber that was there, took our buildings, our office building. The bathhouse was disturbed or messed up. And so we're just now getting into the process of getting everything rebuilt. We've been working with FEMA and MEMA, and we're working on getting the bid process done to get those buildings back together. We reopened the fishing on that lake in September of the same year. But Monroe, people don't like to say it too much, but it's got some big bass in it. Those guys keep it pretty quiet. But it does have some big bass. It does have some decent crappie in it as well. And it's also got big bluegill brim in it. There's no rental pavilion at Monroe, but when we come back together with the campground, we're going to downsize it to 6 or 7 sites. Okay. And they're going to be, there'll be concrete pads. They'll be really nice. There'll be 50 amp hookups there. We'll have a remodeled office, a remodeled bathhouse. And I'm not sure how long that process will take. We're into it pretty good by the first of the year, or even in the spring maybe. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be looking good at Lake Monroe as far as our facilities go.
It's so interesting here. You talk about each of these lakes, and it reminds me of the time I spent. My family used to go to Paul B. Johnson State Park for an extended period of time, usually in the fall, and it's just such a wonderful time. Thinking about if you take one of those campsites and just enjoy being there. Think, the hardwoods. You're right, man. This time of year, there's no better place to be in North Mississippi than around some of those hardwoods as the leaves are changing and whatever. But I can feel the passion in your voice for what you do. I know you can. I can tell you love what you do. But you're surrounded by a bunch of people that love what they do too, aren't you?
Yes, sir. We are. There's people just like we are. They're good old country folks, and they say hey when you see them, and they enjoy getting out doing the same things that we grew up doing. And I've never run into anybody that wasn't friendly. Now, a lot of times at the boat ramps, when I was the lake manager at Kemper, we'd want to give them a fishing report. Tell me, can you tell me a little bit about what you caught, where you caught them, what you caught them on? And some guys, they don't mind doing that at all, and some of them's pretty tight-lipped, So, but our fishing report page is one of the most visited pages on our website, and
I bet
that information is not necessarily, in my opinion, for the guy that goes every day or every week. That information is more for the guy that says to his buddy, "Hey, let's fish somewhere different this weekend."
Hey, Britt, we're coming to the end of this segment together, but it's been a pleasure to spend time with you. This has been Britt Harris. We'll see you after this break.